Hey, Kevin Krull back with you. Today I'm going to show you the second step of my finishing process, buffing. Okay, now we're ready to do some buffing. I do all my buffing here on the lathe. I just got a simple setup. I have a Jacob's chuck which has a Morse taper that fits into the headstock. Get that in there. Then I just have a assortment of buffing wheels for the different compounds I use. This one here is for triple E. This fits in a 1/2-inch arbor. I put the arbor right into the Jacob's chuck. And of course I lost my key, so I just use pliers here, tighten it up. Now, at least for my setup, I take a hammer and lightly tap the whole setup into the headstock. Otherwise, it will work its way loose. As far as lathe speed, I have mine set at about 1300 RPMs. It works fine for me. Also, what I have here is a simple bed that I made. It's just a piece of drywall. I just have a block of wood that fits in the rails of my bed. I just have it attached with a single screw. That way I can swivel it if I need to. Reason for the bed is if you get a catch, it can pull your piece down and you can hit the lathe bed and it will nick your piece. So this drywall is soft enough that it'll give some protection to your wood. What I'm going to be using here to buff with is triple E compound. Now, triple E is just a finely ground porous stone, and it's bound together with a binding agent, which is typically paraffin wax, and it will leave a bit of a shine on the piece, and it's just a residue of the paraffin wax being left behind. So, okay, the piece I'm going to be buffing today is this black cherry bowl dish that I already finished. I finished it with 3 applications of the Danish Oil Finish. To get started, we'll just charge the wheel with the buffing compound. You don't need a whole lot, just get some on there. Take a firm grasp of your piece and just apply it onto the wheel. Now the wheel is spinning this way, but you can see by this handy guide here on my lathe. You always want the wheel to be coming off the piece, otherwise it will catch. So you just simply put the piece up against the wheel and let the buffing wheel do its work. Now, with the Danish Oil Finish, you don't have to worry about burning through your surface. That's what's beautiful about the Danish Oil Finish. You cannot buff it off. As you can see, in a very short time, you get a nicely polished surface. Now the triple E does contain paraffin wax, and it does leave a finish. You can leave it like that if you want. It's not very durable. You let it cure for a day or two. It will harden up slightly, but it will smudge quite easily. So the next step after we do all the buffing is apply Canuba wax. So let me get this buffed out, then we'll come back and we'll apply the Canuba wax. One more thing I wanted to show you is what a catch is. Like when we're working around the base here, you always want the wheel to be coming off the base. Now if you come over the edge, it's going to want to pull it out of your hand. Now this isn't a big base, so it's not pulling too bad, but it'll pull your piece right down. Now, if you're working on the inside, you get a catch. I'm going to hang on for dear life for this one. It will catch in a heartbeat and throw your piece. So you always have to be very mindful of which direction your wheel's spinning. For inside it, for something like this, I normally work, it's not a great camera angle, but I work inside like this. I don't, unless I'm working the very bottom, then I have it up on edge. Yeah, that actually hurt my fingers when I got that catch on the inside. Okay, we're back. Got the bowl buffed out inside and out. Has a real nice shine to it. Again, that was just the triple E. Hopefully that's showing up on camera there. Now on this this brand, it says it's biodegradable and non-toxic. Now does that mean it's food safe? I don't know. You might want to contact the manufacturer of your compound and see if it is or not. So we're ready to apply the carnauba wax. What I'm using here is just a Liberon called a wood turning stick. It's made from carnauba wax. It's hard, brittle. So now applying carnauba wax is quite a bit different than applying the triple E compound. The triple E, you can apply it on as heavy as you want. You can let the bowl stay in one spot for as long as you want. You're not going to burn through your finish if you're using the Danish Oil Finish. Now the carnauba wax, you do not want to linger in one spot for very long. What will end up happening is you'll leave a streak of heavy carnauba wax, and it'll actually look like Scotch tape, invisible tape. It's just stuck on your surface. It's actually will be raised up to about the thickness of invisible tape. So the key with the carnauba wax is you basically just want to kiss it on the surface. Put a very, very light coat on there. It will protect it. While you're applying it, actually it will look like you're not doing anything at all. So let's get to it. Okay, we'll charge the wheel. When you're charging the wheel, you probably won't see it change color, but you can actually smell the wax. That's when you know you have enough on there. It'll actually look like you're not doing anything at all. It just, it'll shine it up just a little bit more. Just keep it moving. I don't know if you can see the difference. Over here is where I just buffed it. Over here is where I put the carnauba wax. It's quite a bit shinier. Now, you know you put enough on when you feel around and it feels very slick. If you feel any spots that are kind of catching, that means you don't have enough the wax on there yet. Okay, when buffing the inside of a bowl, you always want to be very mindful of the rotation of your buffing wheel. You do not want to get a catch. And this buff is actually almost too big for this bowl, but it'll work. What you always want to do is have the wheel coming off the edge of the bowl. If it hits the other way, that's your catch. So I'll show you the orientation and how I do it. Charge the wheel up again. You gotta remember, you want to keep it moving. Don't linger in one spot too long. Now for the rim, you just want to be very gentle. If you force it in, you will get a catch. Okay, that's the finished product. Okay, a couple final thoughts on buffing. Buffing is not a miracle worker. Buffing will not remove torn end grain, tool marks, pressure rings, sanding scratches. Surface preparation is vital. Now in my bag of goodies here, I have buffs of all different sizes, different shapes, different levels of firmness. And depending on what type of medium you use, you want different levels of firmness for your buffing wheels. Now, when you apply a medium to a buffing wheel, do not mix your different compounds. Otherwise, you're just using a fine abrasive or a coarse abrasive on a fine wheel, or a fine abrasive on a coarse wheel, and you won't get a consistent result. Different mediums you can buff with. I showed you the Tripoli and the Canuba wax. You can also buff with paste wax. This Butcher Block conditioner, it's got Canuba wax in it. That buffs out pretty nice. You can also buff out raw wood without any type of finish on it. Use the Tripoli and the Canuba wax. And it doesn't matter if the wood is wet or dry, it'll buff out. Just after your final sanding, you start buffing it. And it gives you some protection. It's actually pretty good if you don't want to change the color of your wood. If you have a white wood, the Tripoli and the Canuba wax will retain the bright white color. When you apply a finish on, a lot of times they'll turn it kind of yellow. That'll keep it white. Also, depending on what type of sheen you want, the Tripoli and the Canuba wax produce kind of a high gloss sheen. If you want a duller sheen, you can take a new dry buffing pad and buff the Danish Oil Finish. Now buff out to a real nice low gloss sheen. So hopefully these tips helped you out. Hope you learned something from them. Till next time, thanks for watching.